Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Realm Survival. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, as we have a lot planned today with terraforming my area and making it look great for several builds to come. We definitely have a lot of terraforming to do heading towards the diamond mine along with the bridge, but it should be done pretty nicely. When checking around my base, I came upon a sign to meet upon coordinates. I instantly grabbed my elytra and took to the skies. I knew very well who this player would be, as the owner of the server has been on the grind. Hoodus53 gave me a lovely tour of his growing base as it's centered by the bell tower with beautiful crop fields. He also has a sweet cow barn and place for more animals and horses. Heading towards his boat dock, he told me we had one last destination to visit, the gold farm, which is one of the best farms to have, especially on Bedrock Edition. Heading into the kill chamber, he had room for enchantment setup along with an organized storage system. My elytra was getting low, but thankfully he gave me a mending book to help me on my travels. I wanted a closer look at this magnificent bell, as it gave a great look out to the area, which I assure you will be very different next time we visit. Now after a quick tour, it was time to get to work, as terraforming and path making was next up. I got started with connecting this path to my starter house, and then destroyed all the trees in my lower area as I needed a clean template. Somehow I did not see this witch, but I thought it wasn't hostile. I was wrong. But it was time to clear back some land and smoothen out the terrain. I have big plans to add in an entrance here with some sort of gatehouse, but work on the path has to come first. It was all coming together as I brought it down further to a point where I wanted a curve in it. But after some path placing and wall building, I got the path to the bottom. Now with the path to the diamond mine getting there, I decided to fix up the area around my bridge. I don't really know what to do about this hole, let me know in the comments please. I also wanted to put a nice fountain here for later as well. Going 4 separate directions with the fountain allows for a lot of options and works nicely, but in the back of my head I was craving more iron and coal, so I grabbed my elytra and flew to the closest mountain. Thankfully a mountain wasn't far at all, and there was iron and coal infecting it all over. I saw this creeper, but clearly forgot about it moments later as it scared me terribly, but thankfully back home I wouldn't have a chance of dying. Ha! You thought I was gonna die. Ha! But wow, that is a lot of coal and iron. Now after the iron tower is gone, I got to smelting and saw that someone liked my lava farm. What you guys didn't see when I was out hunting for iron and coal is that I found a dark oak forest with mushrooms all over and decided to take 2 with Silk Touch. Then I thought it would be nice to add an area of flowers surrounding them with a nice chocolate bench. Back to terraforming with the stone walls and dirt. It was definitely a tedious process, but it pays off nicely. I've been collecting dirt and stone from this mountainside as it will come in handy with my future bridge project, but after correcting all the path, it was looking pretty good. This path going into the mountain will be handy later, as I want to make an auto smelting building in the mountain. After getting much of the walls done and a much requested Bradbury dungeon, I was happy with how it's turning out. After finishing the last steps of the path, clearing out some area for the mine, and taking a good walk, I made a quick bridge going over to the future river through my area. I was happy with how the bridge turned out and with its support beams. I then headed to a friend's to get some mending books as my shovel needed it badly. A cool thing you can do in Minecraft is change the color of your text with a strange character, followed by any number 1 through 9. I went with the name Clayton as it reminds me of a good friend of mine, and I will get thousands of stacks of clay for him. I also went ahead and put mending on my Fortune 3 pickaxe and hoped the color will give me luck. But now back to terraforming. I worked on the inner grove where a nice river will flow through and down. I've been working on terraforming around the whole top of my base where I have more plans for bridges and I enjoy a clean slate layout. Let me sleep, let me sleep, let me sleep. But next I made a diamond hoe and got to a more professional looking field, finally with stone bricks. I added a higher fence as I definitely did not want any animals or players jumping on my wheat. Next up was a fountain, as I love adding blue wherever I can to the greenery of the plants. I thought it turned out really nice and simple. I was really loving how this place was coming together with the flower garden and bridge, but I wanted to put together a map to have a good view of my base and all I've been working on. After collecting all 4 pieces, I really love the area I've settled down in, and I'm so excited to fill the map up. Of course, I had to go say hi to my cows and feed them totally. Then I got to some tree chopping and met this cute little fella, but it turns out all he wanted was to be big and strong and no longer wanted me. Not cool, bro, not cool. But anyways, I got started back in the area I cleared out by the mine and started with an exterior. I used a mix of oak wood and stripped spruce logs and used a nice gradient to help cover up the top. Then I got to work on building some support beams going into the mine, along with connecting the terraform path. I was really enjoying how it was looking so far, but I definitely needed some more work done exteriorly, but I did some more work on the hills around the path. This is a great time for you guys to like and subscribe if you aren't already, but the next day I got on and saw another care package, as I've been dreadfully wanting a horse. The ender chest was also huge, as it is the only storage in the game that can transfer from ender chest to ender chest. But back to the saddle, I thankfully was able to find a horse nearby that was quick and jumpy. What do you guys think for names? It took me a while to realize that I had a baby horse following me and knew he had to come back with me. I now had my 2 horses for the series. You guys will be great right here for now, but a stable definitely has to come soon. But I got to work on an oak tree and thought it turned out pretty nice heading over the bridge. Next, starting on a similar oak tree, I wanted to bring you guys more through it as I bring up the trunk with roots sprouting out and taking the branches in separate random directions. This spider made me realize I needed some lanterns on this fountain. Leaves are definitely tricky to get down as it's hard to not just have green blobs. I like bringing down the leaves like a willow tree, and wow, it turned out pretty nice. I next took the biggest tree I could find and rid it of its leaves, as I had several artificial oak trees to go down my path. These guys can be tedious, but I honestly really enjoy how they turn out, as they are really clean and simple while throwing down the idea that trees are populating the area. Yeah, this is starting to look really good, and so I continue on down the path with the trees and finish it off with a large oak, and I tried to go at a more airflow example of a leafy tree. Taking a lovely stroll up my path and taking in all the scenes as I go, I knew I had to now finish off the destination of it, the mine. I just got started getting some basic decoration down and wanted a large crane to carry the ores from the ground to hopefully one day a cargo ship. Now I've never built one of these before, but I gave it a good attempt with a picture of a real life one as my reference. I added some coal blocks to my lift, and then a nice field as they really do look good everywhere. The last thing I wanted to add was a board explaining the depths necessary for the certain ores they wanted to acquire. I also made a path direction for a future fishing dock. I'm excited to build a boat here later and maybe a factory further behind. Now it was time to work on a gatehouse which I thought would fit perfectly here at the peak of the path. I decided to use various tough blocks as the new additions are really awesome in style. It took a while to get the base figured out along with how I wanted to design it, but with the use of calcite and the various blocks, I was starting to see it come together. Sadly, I quickly ran out of tuff and went to a cave you guys should all find familiar, and knew deeper down was tons of tuff. After an awesome haul, I got right back to building the foundations along with some terraforming around the base. Finally, after finishing off the roof and the higher floor of the first tower, I was really proud of myself of how it turned out as I added a more detailed crossover from tower to tower. Then I copied the design to the other tower and they turned out fantastic. I believe I want to bring villagers to the main floor above so I can breed them safely there in the next episode. If you guys are loving what you are seeing and want more, please like, subscribe, and comment as I love any feedback. But after completing the gatehouse towers, I got to some smaller detailing on the path. Then it was time to fill the empty river here, which I want to take down the hill to the river and underneath the bridge. After filling in the water, I got to some detailing with leaves, bamboo, and pumpkins. And then some more detailing over here with some sugarcane and leaves. I realized that my baby horse grew up. It is definitely a fast one, but then I did some final sugarcane additions to the river. I definitely have big plans to bring the river up and over and down towards the ocean to expand the water in the plains, but for now this will do. I am really liking how it turned out as it feels really natural flowing down and through. Taking a grand look from my view at the nether portal, I was enjoying how my plan was coming together. But now I wanted to have some fun seeing the others on the server as my tour guide J.B. Bradbury was here. Of course I had to give him a nice tour of my process and he gave me some rockets as a friendly gift. But then we got right to what he's been up to, as we have used the area near the top of the nether as a transport system to easily get around. Bradbury has been able to mark out most of the bases of the server along with the direction. Our first place to visit was his wonderful cabin in the snowy peaks, as he had a wonderful area of land along with some secrets, as he took me deep under his base to where he mines. He was nice enough to give me enough shulker shells for 9 boxes. I think his area out front would make for a perfect winter wonderland filled with candy canes and a Christmas village. Now we are off to our next destination, the owner's territory again, as he's been busy since we checked on him last. And wow, he has been busy, as before the Goldfire was bare on top, with now a nice boat launch and a mossy entrance into his now glorious kill chamber, filled with a library and a disenchantment room. It even has an easy way in and out, as if the path is too tedious, with an interesting book on how the pigments are. It's always great coming over here, as it's always expanding, but on to the next area as we are heading to the jungle to see the rest of our realm friends. The jungle is giving me nostalgia, as in my previous realm with my jungle village. But what I met with was an interesting but massive design of a wall surrounding the island. There was even a mysterious room which we were told to keep out of. We found a cute house here which had a sweet view of the wall. There was also this really cool pond which had tons of coral below, as we were able to easily stand above. Along with this very large bridge. Sweet. But we then came to one of my good friends, Diesel, and I was amazed by his dark oak home. He explained to us his plans in the future of expanding his river. Inside his home, he had a really awesome light design and an open floor plan with a sweet fireplace, room to decorate, and a lovely lookout from the porch. He has large rivers nearby, which we thought would be perfect for a large ship maybe stopping by to collect cargo. On the way I took notice to this crazy amplified terrain which shot far into the sky and had bamboo and dirt floating above. I then went back home and said my goodbyes to my lovely tour guide. It is good to be home and to be in my land, as I am insanely proud of the progress coming along. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I have so many plans for the future. If you guys are loving what you're seeing, you better stay tuned for more and subscribe. Hope to see you guys next time. Pheasant out.